Hi friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today we are going to be doing a step-by-step video tutorial for the Acorn Basket Backpack. Now, this pattern might look familiar to you if you've been following Life in Yarn for a little while. This bag might remind you a little bit of this bag. This is the original Acorn Basket bag. The Acorn Basket Backpack is my newest version of this super cute bag that's been very popular on the blog. I absolutely love both of these bags because they are made with 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand, which is super sturdy, and they have this gorgeous textured crochet stitch. So the Acorn Basket Backpack was released on my blog recently without the video tutorial because, guys, baby is coming. I'm at the very end of my pregnancy. I am exhausted, and trying to keep up with making this bag along the way and recording things was quite a task this time around. So I missed a couple of parts and pieces, and so I had to go back in and re-record some spots of this to make sure that this step-by-step video tutorial was complete for you guys. So in today's video tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to make this solid single crochet base of this bag that makes it very sturdy. We will then learn how to do this gorgeous textured crochet stitch. Isn't that amazing? Oh gosh, it's so pretty. We will then add the flap to the backpack. We are going to learn how to do these beautiful straps. Just look at that detail. Isn't that gorgeous? We then use that same technique that we do the straps to make the bag handle, and then I will also show you how to attach these straps and put your bag together. Now, I have had some questions on the Acorn Basket bag. You can use the video tutorial for the backpack to help you along the way for the Acorn Basket bag. Hold on, it's a tongue twister, right? We got the Acorn Basket bag and the Acorn Basket backpack. So the base is the same and the stitches up are the same. The way that we create the loops for the straps is the same. The rounds are a little bit different. There's more on the backpack than there are on the bag, but the technique themselves is the same. For today's video tutorial, you will need some 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand, a 5mm crochet hook, and a stitch marker. To make the base of the Acorn Basket Backpack, we start by creating a flat circle using single crochet. In order to do that for round one, what we will do is we are going to start by making a slip knot, placing our yarn on our hook, and then we will create a chain 2. You will then place 6 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. To make sure that we do not confuse where the first stitch is, I'm going to count my 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and place a stitch marker in that 6th stitch. I will then use my tail to pull this tight, and then I'm going to slip stitch to join. For each round, we will slip stitch to join, and then we will create a chain 1. Make note that we will not be turning at the end of each round. Moving on to round 2, we are going to place 2 single crochet in each single crochet from round 1 so that we have a total of 12 single crochet stitches. What I should have done was move my stitch marker up to the first stitch of round 2 so that I don't confuse it over here. Moving forward, every round we are going to move that stitch marker up at the beginning. So I have my 12 stitches. I'm going to slip stitch to join in the first single crochet of round 2 and chain 1. Moving on to round 3, we are going to alternate a single crochet and then 2 single crochet for an increase. So I'm going to place my first single crochet in the first stitch of round 2. I'm going to take my stitch marker, place it in that first stitch so that I don't lose it, and then place 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Single crochet 1, and then single crochet 2. We are going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 18 single crochet stitches for round 3. When we get to the end of round 3, I'm going to slip stitch to join in the first single crochet that we created, chain 1, And now we will move on to round 4. For round 4, we are going to place 2 single crochet, and then in the 3rd stitch, we are going to place 2 single crochet for an increase. I'm going to take my stitch marker and mark the 1st stitch of round 4, and then continue around doing 2 single crochet and then a 2 single crochet increase in the 3rd stitch. This will give us a total of 24 stitches in round 4. Coming to the end of round 4, I'm going to slip stitch to join to that first marked stitch that we created, chain 1, and move on to round 5. For round 5, we will place 3 single crochet and then 2 single crochet in the 4th stitch. Be sure to bring your stitch marker up to the 1st stitch of round 5. And continue that repeat all the way around, placing 3 single crochet and then a 2 single crochet increase. Round 5 will have a total of 30 single crochet stitches. When you reach the end of round 5, you are going to slip stitch to join, chain 1, and move on to round 6. For the purpose of today's video tutorial, I am not going to go any farther on my circle, and I will jump forward to show you how it is that we create the textured stitch on this bag. You will continue to make your flat circle for a total of 23 rounds, ending with 138 stitches. Each round will increase by 6 stitches so that your circle stays flat. If for any reason your circle is buckling or pinching, you probably want to check your hook tension. If you find that your circle is pinching up and in, then you probably need to go up a hook. If you find that your circle is really wavy and you have a lot of extra material and it's not laying flat, then you probably need to go down a hook. After completing your 23 rounds for your flat circle of the base, what you will then do is create 3 total rounds with no more increases to start to turn the sides up on the bottom of your bag. We will now move on to the round 27 instructions. Round 27 is the foundation for the textured stitch. So I just popped out my chain 1 that I had here because round 27 starts with a chain 2. So I'm going to chain 2, and I had worked in this last stitch of my round. So you skip this first stitch and you double crochet in the next. Chain 3 and skip 1 stitch. Double crochet in that next stitch, and now you will follow a repeat all the way around. So the repeat is chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the next stitch, then chain 3, skip 1, and double crochet in the next stitch. Continuing with the repeat, we will chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. So the repeat is wherever you chain 3, you will skip 1, and wherever you chain 1, you will skip 3, placing a double crochet in between. So chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, skip 1, double crochet in the next. And you are going to repeat this repeat around until 2 single crochet stitches remain. So right here we have our first marked stitch where the stitch marker is from the previous round, and then this is our slip stitch to join, and here are our 2 stitches. The ending instructions for round 27 tell you to chain 1, skip 2, and slip stitch to the first double crochet, so right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my stitch marker, and I'm going to use that to mark the first stitch of round 28. So we are now moving on to round 28. Round 28 works its stitches in round 26, just like we did with round 27. So we are essentially creating 2 rounds in the same round. Round 28 is also an increase round. So you're going to have more stitches in round 28 than you will in round 27. So to begin round 28, what we will do is chain 2, and then begin the repeat, which says double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in skipped single crochet of round 26. So that is this stitch right here. So I'm going to double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, all in that skipped single crochet of round 26. I am also going to come back here and I'm going to count my 2 chains and then come in and place my stitch marker into that first double crochet of round 28. We will then chain 1, and then we are going to do another double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the center single crochet of the 3 skipped single crochet of round 26. So here's our 3 skipped single crochet stitches. And again, I'm going to do another grouping of double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in that center stitch that we skipped of round 26. I'm then going to chain 1 and continue repeating that process all the way around. So where there is 1 single crochet, we are going to place a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, create a chain 1, and then when we get to a 3 single crochet, we are going to work in the center single crochet with a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Each of these double crochet, chain 3 double crochets are all separated by a chain 1. Make sure you don't forget that chain 1 space in between them, because otherwise this bag will pinch in a little bit, and we don't want that. We want it to lay nice and evenly. We don't want any weird pinching and buckling. When you get to the end of round 28, you no longer have the typical 1 single crochet or 3 single crochet. You are going to be placing your double crochet, chain 3 double crochet in the last skipped single crochet of round 26. So I'm going to come over here and I've got my 2 single crochet, and I'm going to do my double crochet, chain 3 double crochet in that last skipped single crochet. You then will slip stitch to join in that first double crochet of round 28 that we marked with our stitch marker. I'm now going to remove my stitch marker, and we are going to move on to round 29. So let's just take a little bit of a close-up look at this right now. Okay, so imagine that this is the whole base of your bag. You have your round 26 of all single crochet stitches. This is round 28. Round 27 is back here, okay? Can you see that? It's like kind of back here. All right, so round 28 and 27 are both worked in round 26. It's very important that we work them in the correct round. To move on to round 29, this next round that we're going to create works the chain 1 stitches from round 27. So this row that's back here, we are working those chain 1 stitches. It's the only round that we are working the chain 1 stitches. The remaining rounds in this repeat do not work the chain 1s and only work in the chain 3 loops of the previous round. So I'll show you how that works. It'll make more sense. So to begin round 29, what we're going to do is we're starting with a chain 2. I am then going to create a double crochet, chain 3 double crochet in the chain 3 loop 2 rows below through the double crochet, chain 3 double crochet. So here's the double crochet, chain 3 double crochet. I'm going to work a double crochet through this space back into the chain 3 loop of round 27. So I'm going to put my hook around that loop, and I'm going to kind of bring it forward onto the front of my work to create that first double crochet stitch. I'm going to take this stitch marker because I don't want to lose this stitch and place it in that first double crochet. Then I will chain 3 and place another double crochet around that chain 3 loop that we picked up from round 27. Okay, so we're working through 28 to get to 27. I am then going to chain 1, skip the chain 1 of round 28, and then I'm going to work between this double crochet, chain 3 double crochet to work again in round 27 in the chain 1 space. So I'm going to go into that chain 1 space back here. I'm going to pull it forward, and I am going to double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the chain 1 space from round 27, working through round 28. I will then chain 1, skip this chain 1 on round 28, come work through the double crochet, chain 3 double crochet on round 28 to get to this next chain 3 loop of round 27. Bring it through to the front and place another double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 of 28, come back through the double crochet, chain 3 double crochet, pick up the chain 1 space of round 27, bring it through to the front and place my next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So we will repeat that all the way around. Round 29 is worked through round 28 and in round 27. When you get to the end and you place your last double crochet, chain 3 double crochet working through round 28 and into round 27, you will then slip stitch to join in that first double crochet stitch that we marked. Remove your stitch marker. We will now move on to round 30. So for round 30, we're going to chain 2, double crochet, chain 3 double crochet in the chain 3 loop 2 rows below through the double crochet, chain 3 double crochet. I'm going to yarn over, come through the chain 3 loop of round 29, pick up the chain 3 loop of round 28, bring that to the front and place a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Make sure to put your stitch marker in that first double crochet of round 30. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 of round 29, come in through the chain 3 loop of round 29, pick up the chain 3 loop of round 28, bring it through to the front and create your double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. And that's what you're going to repeat all the way around for round 30. Chain 1, skip chain 1, yarn over, come between the chain 3 loop of round 29 or your previous round, pick up the chain 3 loop of round 28 or your previous round because this is the repeat round. Create your double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the chain 3 loop, chain 1, skip the chain 1, pick up the chain 3 loop behind, bring it to the front, and create your double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So you're going to repeat that all the way around until you reach your last chain 3 loop from the previous round. Create your final double crochet, chain 3 double crochet, and then you are going to slip stitch to join in that first double crochet that you repeated of your round. And that completes round 30. Round 30 is what you are going to repeat for the remainder of the body of this bag. At first, it might look like it's all laying flat. It will eventually begin to pull itself up and over, but because of that large increase that we created between round 27 and 28, it looks like it's going to lay flat, but just trust me, it's going to start to come up and it's going to create your beautiful bag shape. So you will repeat round 30 for rounds 31 to 52. Moving on to round 53, I will show you how we are going to place the single crochet stitches around the opening of the bag so that we can then create the spacing for the straps. So for round 53, it will start with a chain 1. What you are then going to do is you are going to place 3 single crochet in the chain 3 loop 2 rows below, working through the double crochet chain 3 of the previous round. So imagine that this is round 52. I am going to come and pick up the chain 3 loop behind from round 51, bring it through to the front, and I'm going to place 3 single crochet around that chain 3 loop. This is going to pull this last round back so that this way it's nice and secure and it's not flopping around. You will then place a single crochet in the chain 1 space of the previous round. So that would be round 52. We're not working 2 rows below there. We are then going to work through the chain 3 loop of round 52 to pick up the chain 3 loop of round 51, and then place 3 single crochet around that chain 3 loop. Place 1 single crochet around the chain 1 of the previous round, which is round 52, and then work through the chain 3 loop of 52 to pick up the chain 3 loop of 51 to place 3 single crochet. What this does is it picks up stitches in both of these rounds, and it will combine both of the rounds together nicely so that you have a really good clean edge on this part of the bag. When you reach the end, you are going to slip stitch to join in your first stitch, which I am having trouble finding. And you should have a total of 184 stitches. You will then move on to round 54 and 55, which are just single crochet rounds, so chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch around. Again, you will complete rounds 54 and 55 with a slip stitch to join to the first stitch. Round 56 is where we will create the openings for the straps. Now, I don't have the proper amount of stitches here to do that, but I'm going to show you how we create those openings. So for round 56, we are going to start with a chain 1, and then you will single crochet 10. After you complete your first 10 single crochet, what you are going to do is chain 3, skip 3, and then you are going to single crochet 20. You will then repeat that all the way around, chaining 3, skipping 3, and single crocheting 20 stitches 7 more times so that you have a total of 8 chain 3 openings. When you get to the end, you will have a remaining 10 stitches left. You will single crochet in those last 10 stitches and slip stitch to the first stitch. So between each of your chain 3 spaces, you are going to have 20 single crochet stitches. At the beginning of your round is going to be the center back of your bag. Round 57 and 58 are all single crochet rounds. You will single crochet in every stitch to the end, making sure that you place 3 single crochet stitches around the chain 3 loop that you created for the strap openings. All right, so I just completed the last round of the body of the bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to the first stitch of this round, and I'm going to slip stitch to join. And we are going to cut our yarn. We are now going to set everything up so we can create the flap for the bag. So I'm going to come through and I'm just going to pull this tail all the way through and then just weave it through a couple of stitches, and I'm going to work over it as I make the flap for the bag. I'm going to leave this stitch marker here so I know where my first stitch of the round is. We're going to take the bag. This is going to be the center back of the bag. Here are 2 of the strap openings, and what you have to do here is find your next strap opening, fold it over, find your next, fold it over, and your next, and fold it over. So you have 4 strap openings on this side. I'm going to pick this up, flatten it out. On the other side, you're going to find your first strap opening, your next strap opening, the next, and then this final one right here, okay? So you're going to make these series of folds so that you have 4 openings on each side. It's nice and easy just to pop your thumbs through like this. And you can see all of these folds. This makes the bag lay nice and flat. Okay, so this is the front of the bag. And up here is where we will attach each of our straps, and then we will thread them through, and then we will bring them back and attach them down at the base of the bag here. But what we are going to do now is we are going to place a couple of stitch markers to create the flap of the bag. So what we're going to need to do to place our stitch markers for the flap that's going to cover over the top of our bag to make this into a backpack is from the first stitch of our last round, we are going to count from that stitch 23 stitches over, and then from our last stitch, we're going to count over another 23 stitches. So we are going to be working over a total of 46 stitches, create the top flap of our backpack. We will do a few rows, and then once we have enough rows to come fully around and cover the top portion of our bag, we will then create a gentle decrease to make a nice curved flap. Now, since this section was worked as all single crochet in the round without turning, this section is going to be back and forth rows. What we are going to be doing are called center single crochets to mimic this same look. So now that we have these stitches marked, we don't have to worry about this being together properly. We're going to, with our right sides facing, insert our hook into this 23rd stitch that we marked from the center of our bag. Take our yarn. We're going to put our yarn over our hook, pull it through that 23rd stitch, grab the tail so we don't use that yarn, and create a chain 1. I'm now going to pull that nice and tight, and I'm going to remove my stitch marker. I am going to place a single crochet in that first stitch, secure my yarn, and I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. Now, because I'm still working in the same direction of my last round of the body of the bag, I do not need to create center single crochets here. The center single crochets will begin on row 2 in the flap. To make sure that I don't lose this stitch, I am going to put my stitch marker back in the first stitch of this row, and then continue placing my single crochets all the way across. You want to make sure that you don't work in the slip stitch, because otherwise that's going to add an extra stitch. I'm going to work over the tail from when I cut my yarn for the last round. I'm coming to the end of row 1 for the backpack flap. I'm going to place my last single crochet. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove this stitch marker from my last round of the backpack body. So now these remaining rows are going to be the center single crochet rows. So I'm going to turn my bag, and I am not going to chain 1 because a center single crochet is a little bit shorter than a regular single crochet, and I don't want all the bulkiness that can be added with a chain 1. Now make sure that you do not pull your yarn too tight on your hook. You do want to have it so that it can move freely, but you don't also want it too loose that it's bulky. So to do a center single crochet, instead of picking up both loops in your single crochet, what you do is you work between the legs of the stitch. So these right here that come down are the legs. So we are going to insert our hook into the legs of the first single crochet, and then you create your single crochet as you normally would. Then we will again come in between the legs of the next single crochet and create our single crochet as we normally would. What is a really good idea is to move your stitch markers up at the beginning and the end of each of these rows, because sometimes the last stitches can be hard to see when using the center single crochet without the chain 1. So again, in between the legs, right here, here's one leg, here's the other leg. This is on the back of the single crochet stitch. Insert your hook and create your single crochet as you normally would. We're going to do that all the way down for a total of 46 center single crochet stitches. Make sure that when you get to the end and turn, you do not do your chain one, but you do not have your yarn too tight on your hook, and bring your single crochet up. All right, guys, leave it to me to somehow not take my own advice and manage to skip a whole bunch of stitches. So originally my plan was to come straight down and then begin to create this decrease here on the bag, but somehow I managed to drop a stitch every row until I realized, oh goodness, I'm decreasing in my center single crochet section. It actually worked out perfectly, and I think it turned out better than what I had initially planned. So make sure you reference the written pattern for the instructions on how to do this, but basically what we're doing is we are skipping our first center single crochet on every row. So from rows 2 to 15, we are going to skip the first center single crochet. And then on row 16, we are going to start doing a center single crochet 2 together at the beginning of each row, and you'll repeat that until row 25. So if you look, you could see this comes down very gently here, and then just a little bit more of a turn here before we get to this last row to create this nice gentle curve. Guys, if you could see cat hair, it's everywhere. My cats are, 2 of them are long hair, and they are shedding like their winter coat because it's getting warm, and one of them seems to have caught this with their nail. Make sure you reference the written pattern for this portion of the decreases so you have your correct stitch counts. When you reach this bottom row, you are going to finish off, and then we are going to create a trim that goes around here. Oh, real life, guys, I did not get all my ends woven in before I took pictures. So let me just run through how it is that we are going to trim the opening of the bag and the bag flap together so that this way everything looks continuous. What you're going to do is you are going to reattach your yarn anywhere in round 58 of the bag body. Make sure you have your right sides facing so that we have all of our stitches facing in the same direction. Reattach, and then you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around. Where the flap turns right here, you are just going to continue again with one stitch in this area. But when you reach these bottom corners of the flap, you are going to place 3 single crochet so that this way this corner doesn't pinch and pucker. So make sure you place 3 single crochet here, single crochet across the bottom, 3 single crochet again in this corner, and then the rest is all single crochet around until where you reach the first stitch that you worked in, and then you are just going to slip stitch to join, finish off, and weave in your ends. Now let's go make some straps, and then I'm going to explain how we will attach them. All right, guys, to do these straps, it's really super simple. I'm actually going to link right here a video tutorial that I have for my bag bases, because that's how I've started these straps. And essentially what you do is you create a foundation single crochet, and then you work along the bottom edge of the foundation single crochet, and each side you are going to be creating flat half circles. We're going to do that for a total of 4 rounds, and then we do some surface slip stitch detailing. Isn't that pretty? They're really simple. They're super easy to do. You can make them as long or as short as you would like. You can even add extra rounds if you want your straps to be thicker. Just be mindful that the strap openings are only so wide, so if you did try to do an extra round on these, you might want to take that into account before you do this portion of the bag and make these openings bigger. But you really don't have to, because they will squish, but you should just kind of keep that in mind. All right, now that you've made your straps, I'm going to show you where we attach them and how we're going to do that. So what you're going to do is through these first 2 loops, you are going to thread your straps through, see? And you are going to attach them right here. Now, I came down a couple of rows into the textured stitch, and what I did here was using a darning needle as I went around this bottom edge a couple of times so that this way they were nice and secure. Then you will take your end, the other end, and thread it through, right? Remember, this bag opens up kind of like an accordion, and you're going to have 4 openings on each side. So you will thread that all the way through, flip over your bag, and then you can play around with the strap placement on the bottom. Now, I did like 3 or 4 different strap placements to try to get my straps where I liked them the best for myself. And what I found the easiest way to do it was to fold the bag up so that everything is where it should be, which when everything is all tucked into place, these straps are actually on this inside section of the bag. Okay, so what I did was I put mine in here and they come down on an angle. So they're essentially like this. So if you look at the diagram that's in the pattern, I draw them, they're dashed to show you that they're inside of this portion of the bag. Now, yours don't have to be that way. You can place them wherever you want. You can put them up higher here. You can, you could play around with them, and you can make these straps as long or as short as you want. So this is definitely an area for you to customize your bag to make sure that it fits your body perfectly, however it is that you want it to hang on your back or over your shoulders. This is an area for you to kind of take your creative freedoms with how you want your straps. Then you got your bag handle, which where I attached mine was about 3 stitches over from the center on each side and about 3 rows down in these last rounds of bag body. I just attached here right along the bottom and then came across with the darning needle just through basically the curved portion of the strap. And that's it. Nice and easy. Then to finish up, make sure that you weave in all of your ends. I should probably take my own advice and get these woven in or at least tied down a little bit better. Alright guys, thank you for hanging out with me today. I really hope that today's video tutorial was helpful for you and that you enjoy making your very own acorn basket backpack. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a new free pattern, video tutorial, and just all around yarny goodness. Thanks guys, and enjoy your day.